We are now connecting to a research specialist of California University to know the latest update of coronavirus situation. Dr. Rashid, as we know, WHO said coronavirus may never go away like HIV. Then what people will need to do overcome the virus?
Many thanks for this opportunity. First of all, there are many steps that people can actually take. They don't need to be medical experts, first of all. You just have to be more careful. CDC and WHO, they always have some guidelines for preventing the transmission, first of all. So you always need to wear a mask. You should wash your hands as often as possible. So these are to reduce the transmission of this virus, because the way this is we're talking about a respiratory virus. So to get infected with a respiratory virus, you don't have to be in close contact with an infected person. You just need to be within 6 feet within an infected person, and then you can catch the virus from cough droplets or aerosol-like particles. Which is why it's very important to maintain social distancing. I mean, I understand that you have to work because we're actually facing a very tragic question between life and living. I understand you still have to do your work, but do it carefully. Maintain the social distancing as much as possible. Wear mask to prevent infection from yourself, because you don't know whether you are an asymptomatic case. If you are an asymptomatic case, then you wouldn't actually show any kind of symptoms like coughs, fever, throat-ache, etc. So you don't know whether you have it, but you actually may have it. So in order to protect yourself and also protect other people from yourself, you should always wear a mask. And the secondary thing, that's the primary objective. The secondary objective is to protect your hands, because when we cough, when we sneeze, we sort of cover our mouth like that. There's nothing wrong with it, but then again, we sort of touch door handles or railings or all these kind of inanimate objects. And if another person actually touches those objects, inanimate objects, can catch this virus. So this is really important that you wash your hands as often as possible and wear a mask. These are the two things. These are the two major things. Once you know about some symptoms, so one of the good thing about this virus, well, there's nothing good, but it's just that you can actually get cured. I mean, 80% of the people will get cured just by themselves. They wouldn't actually need any medication or anything. It's just complicated for people who are in a certain age group and who have some underlying conditions. So it's only dangerous to them. So it may not be dangerous to you because you're quite young and your immune system is up and running. So you will recover from this infection. But you go back home, you touch your grandparents, you talk to your uncles who are actually in a certain age group and who may have underlying conditions like lung diseases, heart conditions, and if they get infected, they will suffer severe consequences. So you have to think not only about yourself, but also people around you. So you have a social responsibility in this case. And that's why it's a pandemic, because it actually spreads very easily, very quickly. So first of all, social distancing, mask, then hand wash. These are the three critical things. And once you know about some signs and symptoms, you get in touch with the medical professionals. Don't be a doctor by yourself. I mean, people, they learn, they go through academic curriculum, MBBS, and all the other doctoral curriculum for many years.
Dr. Rashid, I will interrupt you. I will just want to know, as a researcher, we want to know from you that how quick the vaccine or antidote will invent for COVID-19 patients.
Okay, just to give you a brief outline. For a drug discovery program takes a really long time. It has multiple phases. It has discovery phases. It has preclinical studies, and then he has safety tests, clinical trials in humans, and then efficacy tests in humans, which is trials 2 and 3. So it generally takes about 5 to 10 years to develop a single drug, and takes about 1.7 to 2.2 billions of dollars, hundreds of researchers. But in this case, because this is so important, I have, so with respect to this particular pandemic, the clinical trial interventions determining the safety and effectiveness to treat COVID-19 are emerging at an unprecedented rate, with the current counts of more than 200 treatments and more than 120 vaccines in development. So Moderna, which is an American biotech company, just reported their initial result on Monday, which looks very promising. But then again, we shouldn't actually get our hopes too high, because this is a preliminary result, and this was aimed to determine the safety of this vaccine. Because at the end, a vaccine is a foreign particle, so your immune system will trigger.
Thank you, Mr. Rashid. Thank you for your valuable information. We will connect you later for more updates.